And welcome to the Marcellus Central School District Board of Education meeting. Our call to order is 6 p.m. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Before we get started, I'd like to make a motion to amend the resolution to go into executive session to include matters involving litigation with the district. Can I have a motion?
A motion.
Mike, can I have a second?
Okay.
Josh? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, and then we'll start this evening with recognition.
Great, so I do want to just start out, as you all know, it is September 11th, which is a incredibly solemn day in our country's history. If we could just take a moment of silence to remember the firefighters, the police officers, the first responders, and all the other individuals who lost their lives that day. Thank you. The one just recognition that I have, I do want to just give a huge shout out to our buildings and grounds staff, as well as our director of facilities, Ryan Riegler. You know, Bob alluded to this at our last board meeting, how one of the students came in the summertime and said, oh my gosh, this is what it looks like in the summer. But I don't think people realize, not only did our buildings and grounds staff have to do their typical summer work, but they also had to deal with all of the building project and construction. So at times they would do a cleanup and then had to do a second cleanup because of, you know, the construction that was going on. So this campus looks amazing. The buildings look incredible. And again, all of the other areas of the campus, obviously minus the continued construction work, looks amazing. And that is directly attributed to Ryan and his staff. So I just want to be sure to recognize them publicly.
There's a lot to juggle, and it's obvious that our buildings and grounds and Ryan take great pride always in the way our campus looks, and we're so grateful for that. So now we'll move on to presentations.
All right, so building project, I have some photos, and you all got to see this as you drove up today, but this is a picture of our high school parking lot on the first day of school. So this photo is taken from where the ag facility will eventually be. You can see the parking. One of the concerns, and Brian Seedy and I, days before the first day, we're like, oh my gosh, I hope we have enough parking for not just our staff, but our students who are utilizing this parking lot for the time being until the other parking lot is ready. But it worked out well. We had plenty of spaces, and you can see even just some of the site work. They're planting seed to get, you know, some of these areas back to green. So it actually worked out. Best case scenario. It was really seamless the first day and the drop off.
And your video was awesome.
Our safety video.
So this is some high school roof work that continues, and this photo is gorgeous, just with the background scenery and the light in the sky. But our roof work at the high school continues, and you know, again, they're getting closer, but it will still continue. This is some of the site work that also continues. You can see here that they're continually working on the sidewalk. And that center section that you see leading to the front of the high school will be pavers, so that we'll have pavers throughout. And then this is the DMS boys and girls locker rooms. We were on hold because of the lockers where there was a delay in receiving them. And then you can see right here will be the benches that I believe have been received too. So those are gonna be installed this week. And that part of the project should be wrapping up toward the end of this week.
Gene, what's the board above the lockers, in between the lockers and the
right here,
tile, yes.
that they're gonna continue with tile, yeah.
So much farther. than it
Yeah,
has
it's
before.
beautiful,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really a huge difference when you walk in there.
Look like
Yeah.
I know.
a dungeon.
Yeah.
Remember.
Mhm.
And the next presentation is just our opening day. I included some pictures that you probably, many of you saw on social media, but what an amazing opening day. And the people that you are looking at right here in the audience are directly the reason why it was so successful. So the administrative team spent a ton of time this summer in preparation. And they did not leave any stone unturned in making sure that they had everything prepared, and I think it showed. We had a great opening day, and as you can see from the smiling faces, and it was a great, smooth opening day. So thank you to all of our administrative team, all of the teachers, all of our staff, for just staying positive, especially with the heat wave that we had. It was extraordinary. So that's it for presentations.
Okay. Now we'll move on to residents' comments. Public expression at Board of Education meetings is encouraged, and a specific portion of the agenda shall provide for this privilege. In most instances, the board shall reserve judgment regarding questions and concerns that are brought to the board's attention at a board meeting, as it is typically not prudent for the board to make instantaneous determinations. In addition, many issues that are brought to the board's attention do not require a formal determination by the board, but instead are most appropriately addressed by the superintendent of schools or persons designated by the superintendent without further board action, in accordance with board policy 3220. Are there any residents' comments at this time? We'll move on to business. Item 6. Approval of tentative agreement with Marcellus Substitute Teachers Association. Resolved that the Board of Education approves the tentative agreement between the Marcellus Central School District and the Marcellus Substitute Teachers Association effective July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2027. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Kelly, and then I think I heard Catherine. Okay, Catherine second. Any questions or comments? I know we've reviewed all the details.
The specifics.
Yeah.
Some of the cleaning up language and.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to item number 7, personnel. Resolved that the following personnel items be approved. And you can see the items there, 7.1 through 7.8. Can I have a motion?
A motion.
Mike, second. Erica. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to item number 8, consent agenda. Resolved that the consent agenda consisting of the following items be approved. You can see the items before you, 8.1 through 8.6. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Josh? Second,
Second.
Mike? Any questions or comments about any of the consent agenda items? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, item number 9, information items.
Yes, I have a few information items just to put on your radar. One of them is the solar eclipse. So I don't know if you are aware, but on April 8th, 2024, Syracuse is in the direct line of the solar totality for the solar eclipse. And so one of the things that is being discussed with school districts across central New York is the potential need to turn that into a half day, because the solar eclipse is going to occur right at dismissal. There's concerns because there could be potential eye damage if somebody's not wearing the proper glasses. So stay tuned. We may be asking for an half day, or early release.
Is this BOCES initiative or
Well, it's,
individual districts or?
BOCES brought it to our attention, but when, our science department is super excited about this. In fact, they're looking forward to doing a lot of community, work ahead of time, just to teach people about the eclipse. The concern is just right at dismissal, it will be pitch black, and again, when little kids are walking out and they're looking up, the potential that they don't have the glasses on. I think that's the fear. So, the superintendents of Central New York are in discussion. Some schools have already gone to a half day. I just wanted to put it on your radar so that, if we decide we want to move in that direction, we can look at our calendar.
Here's a kind of silly question. How confident, they're very confident about the time that it will occur?
They're confident about the time, what is not
It'll be
necessary.
fine.
Right, exactly. If it's not, it won't matter,
Yeah.
but it's hard to predict that.
Sure.
So apparently too, there's gonna be an influx of traffic. I mean, we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
with people
but,
coming to the area to witness it?
I wanted to put it on your radar so
Okay.
that you knew in case we do move to turn that into a half day week, so.
Okay.
So the other, just something else that came up, I know, I think Michelle received a request asking if the board would entertain, students that live out of district but pay tuition. And, I obviously turned to Tony for historical context, and we did at one point offer this option for tuition pay for students that live outside of the district. However, I think we ended that practice, and Tony can probably give you more specificity, mainly because sometimes it was a drain on resources for our students that do live in Marcellus. So I just, again, want to put it forward to you in case you want me to continue to move forward to potentially give you more information. I want to kind of just read what you think.
Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, but we were talking a little bit about what the potential tuition might be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the tuition would not be commensurate with the per pupil expenditure, would it?
No,
Even close?
not even close.
Thank you.
So yeah, which is the concern,
Mhm,
really.
mhm.
So I will look to the board if you want me to continue to pursue the option, or if you're feeling like no need to continue discussions.
District.
Something else I want to just give you an update on is, we are moving forward with our screening interviews for KCH principal this week. We'll continue to, just let you know how we're doing in that process. We expect to do committee interviews on September 27th in the evening. And I will be sending just a notice out to parents who may want to participate in that parent committee. And if we have more than we need, we will just do a random selection of parents from KCH.
I think Josh is participating as a
Yes.
board member, and
Josh is, and Erica also
Okay.
offered to participate.
Great.
So that's awesome, and I appreciate that, to have that board representation. And then the final thing, just on information items, is super eval. I know we had a chance to look at that over board retreat. Just want to get a sense from you if it's something you want to move forward with. And Tony, if it doesn't need a vote, Tony can simply reach out to BOCES and put that platform in place.
I think it would be helpful as we navigate the process. I think it will help us to stay on track and be a good system for Jean to provide evidence for working towards the goals that we set. So I don't know how the rest of the board is feeling.
Yeah, I think it's a necessary improvement from the tool that we have been using.
Mhm.
And what I appreciated about it is that it organizes the data throughout the year that's needed. Because I think we have a half year evaluation and then a full year evaluation.
Mhm. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Is it year to year Is it like, it's not like a contract or 5-year term?
Yeah,
Did
well,
the-
I haven't seen the specifics, but usually a BOSI service can only be year.
Yeah, it is your.
Mhm. And BOCES will cover the majority of the cost, is that right?
Correct, about,
Okay.
in our case, about 75% of the cost is covered through BOSI's.
Is that our age ratio?
Our BOSI's age ratio, yes, yeah, it's just south of 75, it's between 72 and 75, somewhere in that range, it fluctuates a little bit every year.
Are we good with moving forward with that?
Yes.
Okay, all right, great.
That's it for.
Is that for information items? Okay.
I'm sorry, what, could you just remind me again of the date of that solar eclipse?
April 8th.
April 8th.
Yeah, it's a Monday. In fact, just to give you, New York State, the testing for New York State, the window begins on the 10th. And New York State recommended that school districts push that window starting on the 11th, which is an interesting thing
Because of that.
because of the solar eclipse.
Yeah. So we moved it. We did right in the way.
Okay, moving on to,
Council's fund classes.
Yeah, so BOCES actually has ordered glasses for all of the whole district, so we will be giving out the glasses.
Okay.
We just can't force people to put them on their
Right.
their eyes.
Yeah.
All right, that was it for information.
okay, moving on to item number 10, residents' comments. Are there any residents' comments at this time? Okay. All right, then at this time, we will enter into executive session. Resolved that the meeting in public be adjourned and an executive session be convened for the purpose of discussion of employment history of particular personnel and then litigation as well. Can I have a motion?
A motion.
Mike? Second, Catherine? All right, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried, so I'll mark the time, 6:17. We will